Welcome to the chemistry session. In our last class, we are discussing about the laws of the chemical combination. In that, the first law is already completed, that is the law of conservation of the mass. During any physical or chemical change, the mass of the reactant, that is the total mass of the reactant, becomes equals to the total mass of the product. That is, the total mass will be conserved. In that law, we are going to say that mass can neither be created nor be destroyed. So, that is the first law of the chemical combination. Let us go for the second law, that is law of definite proportion. It is also called as law of constant proportion. So, here let me tell you one example, later on we will go for the law. Here it is a chemical compound, okay. So, these two are the chemical compounds. Whenever the chemical compound is there, it carries or it has the same elements. It has the same element. It means water is there means always there is a hydrogen and oxygen itself. If carbon dioxide is there means always there is a carbon and oxygen. So, any chemical compound has the same elements which are combined together in a simple ratio by their mass or in a definite ratio by their mass. So, the statement is that a chemical compound contains the same elements combined together with fixed or definite ratio by mass. So, this is the statement. The chemical compound, let us take water as a chemical compound. The chemical compound contains the same elements. It means always there is a hydrogen, always there is a oxygen. A chemical compound contains the same elements combined together with a fixed ratio by the mass. So, what is the meaning of this? Here, atomic mass of the hydrogen is 1, that is 2 hydrogens are there, 2 is to 16, that is if we cancel 1 is to 8 ratio. Always in the water, the hydrogen combines with the oxygen in the ratio of 1 is to 8 by their mass. Okay. So, this is how we can say that the law of the definite proportion, or else you can go for the one more example, carbon atomic mass. So, if I make this ratio in the simplest form, this will be 3 is to 8. So, this is how we can explain this law. See here, a chemical compound contains, a chemical compound you can take CO2 or H2O. It always contains the same elements which are combined. How they are combined? With a fixed ratio, in a fixed ratio by their mass. We are considering the mass. So, this is how we can explain the law of definite proportion or constant proportion. Why it is a definite or constant means those masses are fixed. The ratio is fixed, which is the contribution of their mass. So, the statement is the chemical compound contains the same elements combined together with the fixed ratio by the mass. Example, you can take water and CO2. In case of water, hydrogen combines with the oxygen in the ratio of 1 is to 8 by their mass. In case of CO2, carbon combines with the oxygen in the ratio of 3 is to 8 by their mass. So, this is how we can explain the law of definite proportion. Okay. So, let us go for the law of multiple proportion. Here the statement is that let us go for the statement. Whenever 2 or more than two elements combine with each other to form two or more than two compounds, then the masses of the one of the element, then the masses of the one of the element combines with other bears a simple whole number ratio. Okay. So, whenever two or more than two elements combine with each other to form two or more than two compounds, then the masses of the one of the element combines with the other bears a simple whole number ratio. Let us go for the one example. Here carbon is combining with oxygen. There are two compounds, CO and CO2. Okay. And what are the elements here? Carbon and oxygen. So, what is the statement? Whenever two or more than two elements combine with each other, here whenever two elements are combining with each other to form two different compounds, then the masses of the one of the element that combines with the other bears a simple whole number ratio. That is, see here carbon it is 12, oxygen is 60. Okay. So, if I go for here, carbon is 12, oxygen 16 2s are 32. It means carbon 12 12 is fixed. Let us take the ratio of the oxygen 1:2. See here, now go for the statement. Whenever two elements combine, here two are there, so I am not using the term more than two. Okay. Whenever two elements combine with each other, whenever two elements combine with each other, they will going to form the two different compounds. Then the mass of the one of the element, that is oxygen, which is combining with the other element, bears a simple whole number ratio. Here carbon is fixed, but the mass of the one of the element that combining with the other, the mass of the one of the element that combining with the other bears a simple whole number ratio. So, this is how we can explain the law of multiple proportion. Even if you go for the one more example, hydrogen and oxygen, they combine with each other. Okay. Here H2O is there, here H2O2 is there. So, if you are go on doing that, the ratio will be 2:16 and here 2:32. Okay. 16:32. Again it will be 1:2. Here 2 that is same for the hydrogen. That is why we can say that the element which is combining, the mass of this element which is combining with other bears a simple whole number ratio. So, this is how we can explain the law of multiple proportion. Thank you. Next, we are going to discuss about the law of reciprocal proportion. Here we discussed about the multiple proportion. Next one is law of reciprocal proportion. So, here the statement is when two elements combine separately, when two elements combine separately with fixed mass of the third element. Two elements, let us consider any two elements. Two elements are combining with fixed mass, fixed third element. Okay, they are going to combine with the third element which is having the fixed mass, then the ratio of their masses in which they do so that either in the same or some whole number multiple of the ratio in which they combine with each other. Little the statement is confusing for you. Let us go for the first example, then let me come to the definition. See here, three elements are there: carbon, hydrogen oxygen. Okay. So whenever the carbon is mingles with the hydrogen, there is a formation of the methane, CH4. So if I go on for the ratio of by their mass, carbon 12, hydrogen 4. Okay. So here 3:1. And then suppose oxygen combines with the hydrogen. What we are telling? When the two different elements, when the two elements combine separately, these two are combining separately with the hydrogen, there is a formation of H2O. These two, 2:16. It means 1:8. I hope so you are getting. Carbon combines with the hydrogen, there is a formation of the methane. Here the combination with a simple ratio 12:4, that if we simplify, that will be 3:1. So similarly, hydrogen combines with the oxygen, there is a formation of the water molecule, and here the ratio will be 1:8. Now whenever these two combine with each other, there is a formation of carbon dioxide. There is a formation of the carbon dioxide. Here, okay, so it will be 3:8. See here, 3:8. It means the ratio become same. The ratio become same. See here, for example, 3 gram of carbon reacting with 1 gram of hydrogen. 3 gram of carbon reacting with 1 gram of the hydrogen. Here, which 1 gram of the hydrogen combining with the 8 gram. 1 gram is combining with the 8 gram. Finally, when the carbon and oxygen, they are going to form a compound that is in the ratio of 3:8. So this is the law of reciprocal proportion. When the two elements combine separately with the fixed mass of the third element, when the two elements combine with the fixed mass of the third element, then the ratio of their masses, in which they do so that either it is same, it means 3:8, either that is same or it is some whole number multiple of that one. So this is how we can explain the law of reciprocal proportion. See here, two elements are combining separately with the other element which is having the fixed ratio. Here carbon and hydrogen combine with each other, there is a formation of CH4, and if we go for the ratio 3:1, and similarly if hydrogen and oxygen combine with each other, there is a formation of water which is in the ratio of 2:16, which we simplify 1:8. So here the ratio will be 3:1, here it will be 1:8. Now when these two C and O combines, there is a formation of CO2 that bears the same ratio like this, 3:8, here 3 and 8, 3:8. So this is how we can explain the law of reciprocal proportion. Okay. Let us go for the Gay-Lussac's law of gaseous volumes. What is the statement? The volumes of the gaseous reactant and products will be in a simple ratio to one another. Will be in the simple ratio to one another when the volumes being measured under the similar condition of temperature and pressure. See here, when the H2 combines with chlorine, there is a formation of HCl gas. Here these are the reactants, and here it is a product. When the volumes of the gaseous reactant and product volumes, whenever the volume of these reactant and the product, if we are taking, that will be a simple whole number ratio. When these volumes are measured under the similar condition of temperature and pressure. For example, one volume of the hydrogen combines with one volume of the chlorine, there is a formation of two volume of the hydrochloric gas, HCl gas. So the ratio we can able to write here 1:1:2, because one volume of the hydrogen combining with one volume of the chlorine. So there is a formation of the two volume. So what is the statement? Volumes of the gaseous reactant here and product. Here it will be in a simple ratio to one another. Those are in the simple ratio to one another when the volume is being measured under the similar condition of temperature and pressure. So this is how we can explain the Gay-Lussac's law of gaseous volumes. And the next one is Avogadro's law. Okay, the equal volume of all the gases measured under the similar conditions of temperature and pressure contains equal number of molecule. Okay, so what is the meaning of this equal volume of all the gases? Equal volume, here if I go for the example, you can take the similar example. Whenever the hydrogen in the gaseous state combines with the chlorine gas, there is a formation of the HCl gas. What is the statement? Equal volume of the all the gases measured under the similar conditions of temperature and pressure contains equal number of the molecules. For example, here one volume of the hydrogen combines with one volume of the chlorine means totally how many volumes of HCl occurs? Obviously it is 2. It is 2 because here the combination is one volume, it will be a 2 volume. So we can say that the equal volume of all the gases measured under the similar condition of temperature and pressure contains equal number of the molecules, So this is how we can explain the Avogadro's law. So see here, in case of laws of chemical combination, the statement is very important. Along with that, you must be careful about the examples which are given. Okay, so first we discussed about the law of the conservation of the mass, second one law of the chemical definite proportion, and the third one is law of the multiple proportion, and the next one is law of reciprocal proportion, and fifth one is Gay-Lussac's law of gaseous volumes. These are the 5 laws of the chemical combination. Along with, we are going to discuss about the Avogadro's law also. Okay, so this is how we can explain all the laws. In our next class, we are going to discuss about how the questions are asked on the basis of these laws, that is discussed in our next session.